turbulent world. We recognize that an irrational environment demands a rational solution, an out-of-the-ordinary partnership to inform extraordinary people in extraordinary times.
A tribesman in the Masai Mara today has access to more information than President Bill Clinton had 15 years ago. The improvement in artificial intelligence, AI, is going to fundamentally change the job market and the knowledge requirement. Education worldwide faces a crisis because it's impossible to know what jobs will exist for humans in just 10 or 20 years' time. So how do we educate our children?
Business leadership has become a lot more vocal. They see themselves as part of the solution. It's only business that can really help government lead us out of this malaise. We also, must make sure that we continue to protect and strengthen our core institutions, and that the country sees business as a national asset. But I think it's very important for us to unite under a common purpose and actually start changing the landscape and changing the messaging and changing the narrative.
Since inception of World Access, our global multi-manager offering, nearly 13 years ago, we have searched and continue to search for the world's finest investment managers. It is our sole aim to produce consistent, risk-adjusted returns for our investors, which we have done over many years by partnering with truly exceptional managers like Iben and Sunil Thakor.
We don't think that investment opportunity is driven by macroeconomics, geopolitics, or really even markets. Investment opportunity at its core, especially for growth investors, comes from change. There's always somebody somewhere coming up with a new idea, finding a new way to do something, improving on the status quo, and that leads to a new product, a new service, maybe even a whole new industry. So the point is, there's opportunity whenever there's change. There's a lot of change in the world, and if you position yourself on the right side of change, then you ought to be able to do quite well.
I've often heard you say that the US is a great place to live, but a terrible place to invest.
Right now, the US market is as expensive as it's ever been on a lot of metrics, and certainly in the top 2 or 3 or so. We like the US, it's just that these valuations, things may or may not be difficult. More importantly, it's a big world. A lot of great companies, a lot of great countries. We think a lot of money can be made outside the US, and hence we'll leave the US to other people for now.
At Sands, what we're looking for are businesses that are something today, but we see something in that business, we think it can be something very different in the future. That's what a growth investor does. A value investor is generally looking for something today that is something, but is trading at a price well below what they think that is worth, and they think that gap might close over time. Neither one of those is better or worse than the other, they're just different, but when you apply those two different mindsets, and you go out into the world of investable opportunities, you come back with a completely different set of companies.
The Global Investment Strategy Group, what does it do? Has one simple job: to set the risk budget for the firm. One message goes out to all the businesses, and for their clients, their portfolios, their starting neutral positions are then adjusted according to what we perceive to be the right level of risk to put into portfolios to take account of the world as it is.
And the role of central bankers is to alleviate a financial crisis.
We have seen that in the last period of time that strategist has forecast 8 of the last 4 recessions.
There's still plenty of scope for markets to produce positive returns, but I'm no longer as enthusiastic as I was.
The first thing, everyone on this team is equal. No matter who you are, we're all equal. The second thing I want is when you turn up here on a Monday night, I want you to turn up with a bit of attitude that you want to be here. And the third thing is all I want from you individually is to be as successful as you can be.
Show me one Minister of Finance anywhere in the world who has been able to drive successfully a fiscal reform program, unless you have got the cover of the head of state. It's political will and political leadership to drive a reform program.
If you don't have a positive attitude towards business, and you will not get growth. Government is an enabler, it creates a framework, but you need business to actually run with the ball.
The world in which we live is full of turbulence. There is volatility. There is a lot of risk. Change at its very core can be scary. I hope as we navigate these turbulent times, you will have the confidence in us as a firm, in our people, the ability, in our culture to do what is right by you, that we can walk with you not only over the next year or the next 3 years, but over a lifetime of partnership.